dark ocean, low thunder. A single radar ping echoes like a heartbeat. Then a second, the camera closes in on a U.S. Navy destroyer cutting through black water under a moonless sky. The narrator's voice enters, low and tense. When a Chinese warship suddenly challenged a United States Navy destroyer in the middle of one of the most contested waterways on Earth, the world never saw the moment unfold. But every admiral, every intelligence agency, every strategist from Washington to Beijing felt the tremor. Because in one reckless maneuver, a Chinese captain made a decision that could have redrawn the map of global power. The story begins in the South China Sea, an oceanic crossroads where more than a third of world trade flows, and where every mile holds a political fuse. The USS Hawthorne, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, moves calmly through the waves. Its mission is simple: freedom of navigation. Its purpose is not. Every time a U.S. destroyer enters these waters, it signals a challenge to China's territorial claims. A reminder that international waters remain open to all. For China, each passage feels personal, a direct strike at its ambitions of regional dominance. Inside the Hawthorne's bridge, sailors monitor the quiet rhythm of the ship. Then suddenly, a voice crackles sharply across the radio. U.S. Navy vessel. This is Chinese Navy warship. You are approaching Chinese territorial waters. Leave immediately. The Americans exchange looks. They've heard this warning a dozen times. But something about today feels different. The tone is more aggressive, intentional, as if the Chinese vessel issuing the warning is waiting for the U.S. ship to do something wrong. On the horizon, a silhouette emerges. A Chinese Type 052D destroyer, a sleek mass of steel moving quickly. Too quickly. The Chinese ship's speed and angle make one thing clear. They aren't just observing, they're intercepting. And fast. The Hawthorne's radar tracks the Chinese vessel as it makes a sharply angled approach, an aggressive move that sends tension rippling across the U.S. deck. The Chinese ship closes the distance. 500 yards. 300, 200. Then, in a stunning and dangerous maneuver, it cuts across the Hawthorne's bow at less than 100 yards. Sailors on both ships can see each other, feel each other's presence, hear the rumble of the engines. One wrong gust of wind, one mechanical twitch, and two of the world's largest militaries could be dragged into conflict. The narrator explains the reality of these encounters. Ships operate under strict rules, but the ocean does not. The Hawthorne's captain orders a near imperceptible speed adjustment, enough to avoid collision while maintaining course. American doctrine demands discipline in moments like this. No panic, no sudden moves, no reaction that could be misinterpreted as aggression. In these silent battles, the most powerful weapon is restraint. The Chinese ship blasts warnings over loudspeakers, escalating the drama. Their crew believes they are asserting dominance. But the Hawthorne's response is far more calculated. It remains calm, precise, unshaken. And in that quiet strength is a message louder than any shouted warning. The U.S. Navy does not back down, nor does it rise to provocations. It holds the line. Always. The narrator dives into the history beneath the confrontation. This is not the first tense showdown between China and the United States on the open sea. In 2001, a Chinese fighter jet collided with a U.S. surveillance plane, triggering a diplomatic crisis. In 2013, the USS Cowpens faced a near collision with a Chinese carrier escort. In 2018, the USS Decatur had to abruptly maneuver to avoid impact with a Chinese destroyer. In 2023, the world again watched as a Chinese warship crossed dangerously close to an American vessel, nearly sparking international outrage. Each event follows the same pattern. China pushes, the United States holds, and the world watches, wondering how long this maritime chess match can continue without tipping into something far more dangerous. Back aboard the Hawthorne, the crew maintains absolute composure. Every move is logged, every signal recorded, every second documented. These operations aren't just about presence. They're about demonstrating mastery under pressure. The Chinese destroyer, after making its show of force, begins to slow. Its aggressive posture fades. The immediate danger passes, but the implications do not. The narrator explains that China's true mistake wasn't a risky maneuver. It was the assumption behind it. The belief that aggression could force an American retreat, that the U.S. Navy might flinch. But the Navy's power isn't in loud, dramatic shows. It's in the professionalism honed through decades of global conflict. In the instincts forged through Cold War standoffs, carrier battles, and high-stakes maritime operations. In the calm confidence that comes from knowing the world's strongest fleet stand behind you. Discipline, not provocation, wins oceans. As the Hawthorne continues its course, unmoved and unshaken, the narrator shifts to the strategic layer. China's ambition to control the South China Sea is tied to national security, economic vision, and geopolitical leverage. Artificial islands, missile installations, and militarized reefs are all part of a long-term plan to transform the region into a fortress of influence. Challenging U.S. vessels is part of that strategy, testing boundaries, probing reactions, signaling dominance. But these bold moves often highlight what China hopes to hide: its insecurity about American naval superiority. Every confrontation is a reminder that despite China's rapid expansion, the United States still hold the advantage in global reach, carrier power, training, and alliance networks. Behind one U.S. destroyer is an entire system capable of projecting power across every ocean on Earth. Behind one freedom of navigation patrol lies a century of doctrine built on the principle that no nation can unilaterally rewrite the rules of the sea. As the Chinese destroyer peels away and the Hawthorne continues its patrol, a stark truth settles over the scene. China challenged a U.S. Navy ship expecting fear, escalation, or retreat. Instead, they encountered unwavering discipline, quiet superiority, and a display of resolve that no aggressive maneuver could shake. The narrator's voice deepens. This encounter is not a story about a near miss. It's a story about two visions of power colliding on open water. One expansive and assertive, the other steady and unyielding. A story about how wars are avoided not by shouting the loudest, but by staying calm when everything around you demands panic. The final shot lingers on the USS Hawthorne sailing steadily into horizon, engines humming, crew focused, mission unchanged. The narrator delivers the closing line with quiet weight. If you want to understand the hidden battles shaping our century, the standoffs, the strategies, and the moments when history almost changed, make sure you like, subscribe, and join us for the next chapter, because the next confrontation is already coming. And when it does, you'll want to know what triggered it before the world finds out.